Right. Let's go there. How do I... Hello, hello. Let's see what we can do. Oh, why am I getting feedback? Sorry. For some reason I can hear myself talking. my tits in. Hmm. It's not saying it's muted. So what's it playing back on? I wonder if that works. No. I think I know what it is. Is that? There we go. There we go. See now. Yeah, that's better. Right. Let's start with the renovation. I need a hammer. So we've been taking over. I can't even remember what this place is called now. River Reach. We started renovating it up, trying to make it look nice, make it our home. And I don't know where I put my tool. There we go. Yeah, I'll take that as well. So yeah, so we were just trying to make it look a bit nicer. We started off with the storage area, and then I've started turning this into like a bit of a banquet hall, throne room, museum-esque sort of thing. Just need to, as I say, make a few finishing touches on this. And then yeah. Still not sure what to do with this area. I was thinking of maybe turning this into like a bar area. But not sure yet. And then could turn this into a bit of a kitchen. Yeah, that'd actually be kind of cool, to be fair. Oh, God's sakes. Might be easier if I do it like this. Ah, not the dead person. That's a shame. Let's get rid of. Oh. Just trying to repair this up a bit. There we go. theory now. But I won't mind. Just put that. That's one big wall. I'll tell you what, let's get rid of these. Get some light in there for a sec. Let's go see. Let's go see what we got. Could put them in. And that. Put that back, because I don't need a grappling hook. Ew. Still got to put the mosaic somewhere as well. Just leave that for now. Still, to be fair, I need to finish off sorting. Can I check that one? Yeah. So, places for the other people. Because we could. Let's go see the blacksmith quick. Not blacksmith, carpenter. Ooh. That's fireplaces. We need something where we can, like, cook. Where it actually looks like a, an oven. So I haven't got any of them windows either. It's annoying. Might have to leave this little room for now then. Unless... I wonder if the blacksmith does anything. Oh, oh dear. Can we not get into his room down here? I might be with the hunter actually. I like looking pots. Let's go have a look at the hunter and the other lady. The farmer. Oh shit. I wonder if she's got anything. She's got the actual oven, but overly. Something more decorative than something we can actually use. Which is annoying. So we were going to turn this place in here for her. Let's check some of these around here. To be fair, I might start doing this now. Nothing above that. No. But you could really turn that into... So if I... Come on. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is so annoying. Why can I not get rid of these? Come on. There somewhere. There we go. There we go. Oh shit. Right. And then I reckon if we make a hole here. A ladder there. Which I now need to go make. Then we could turn this. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. It's already there. Oh, that's how tall it is. Well, that's terrible. I need to make another one. For fuck's sakes. Alright, so that. It's perfect. The only trouble is may need to instead. See if that'll go up. Perfect. So then let's build some walls. I reckon, yeah, let's just open that, fuck it. Let's just do straight walls. To be fair, this doesn't need to be. It's only a room. Have I just gone? Yeah, you dick. I'll sort that out in a minute. Do like a decking out here. Yeah. God, this looks shit. But we will source it. Alright, yeah. Probably. Oh shit. Oh, fucking tit. Right. There we go. Just look at that. Perfect. So we need to go get some roof blocks, which I'm hoping are in here. Otherwise, that's gonna be incredibly annoying. Yeah. Like that, maybe? Will that reach? Oh. Where's that go to that side? Yeah, nice. No, why can't I get these to fucking... Wonderful. So, really, shall I get rid of that? Yeah. Oh, shit. Slightly off though, isn't it? Right. I like things to look a little symmetrical. Oh shit. Come on, well. Oh, you tit. Alright. That's better. No. There we go. It's better. To be fair, actually, you kind of want a big old view of that, don't you? That's a nice view. We want to keep that. Alright, I'll tell you what I need. Just to go get some stands. It's going to be easier. And let's try these windows out. So another one there. Do you have any other windows? No. No. The ornate wood bed in there though. A bit. There we go. Now I can. What's going on here? Something's gone wrong. There we go. Why can I now not get in there? There we go. There we go. Thanks, pal. Oh, have I got any? There we go. Oh, shit. Probably doing this proper ass about face way, but oh shit. How can I get up here now? There we go. There we go. Huh? Heal. How big are these windows? Not very big. Tiny, in fact. Oh, it's a bit older. Nice. Biggest windows they do. What have I got? Yes, these are the large ones. That's annoying. Should be 2 wooden beds though. They don't need an ornate one, do they? Where am I going? Oh yeah. To be fair, we could stick that in the corner there. Let's assign that. Can I do this now? Got farmer and hunter. Send that to you. Assign that to you. You guys downstairs. So you two in here. Now let's go get your thingies. Triumph racks. Put them upstairs. So do we not have any ovens? Where have the ovens gone then? Oh, fucking cauldrons. Look, they gone then.
Hello.
Why is this lagging? Yeah, there we go. Nice. Alright, so we can chuck the drying racks in here. Don't know why my game keeps doing this. Put my tits in though. Oh, I really need some more light. Oh shit. Really? What's going on here? Lighting, what's the cheapest lighting? Be these. Get these in here as well. It's incredibly annoying. Shut that down. Let's still up in that room. Chuck a little lighting around. Right. The fuck is that? Oh, is that an oven already? Well, hot damn. But I reckon... stick. Three in there. No. Right. Well, that's done. Oh, almost. Oh.
This does make it easier for me. The tables were rather wide. To converse with someone across from us, we would need to raise our voices a little, which would sound a bit loud and unruly. It would do neither me nor Leroy any favors to attract the attention of others, so I instead raised my hand for a brief greeting. He did the same. "Oh, are you friends with the son of the McMahons?" whispered the Margrave. "Yeah, we met during the campaign." The Margrave nodded. "Ah, he was the adjutant, wasn't he?" His sharp eye only attested to his abilities as an aristocrat. It was something I couldn't mimic. Since the Margrave had wanted to hear about the campaign, I used this as a segue to tell him a few stories. Marius had filed a proper report on the events, which Margrave Menzel had read, but he wanted my point of view as a person on the front lines. I obviously hid the fact that I'd slain a hobgoblin. I said that it had been defeated before I knew it. I couldn't exactly tell him who'd been the slayer. Altogether, he seemed satisfied by my stories. Bowman, who'd disappeared without me noticing, returned to the halls, dressed in attire that looked slightly more lavish than before. It seemed like he was emceeing this ceremony, so he needed to look suitable for the occasion. The noise from the guests naturally died down, and Bowman cleared his throat. Huh. I guess even he gets nervous at times. "Thank you for your patience, everyone. Please welcome the bride and groom." A door, different from the ones where the guests had entered, opened. A ray of light shone out, illuminating the happy couple. Maybe there's a window across from the doors. Was this place designed for that sort of entry? If so, I was sure that an extremely skilled craftsman had been tasked with the job. And it's been used to light up the people on every occasion, just like now. Amidst the long history of this venue, a new family was about to be born. The relaxed smiles the bride and groom had worn earlier were gone. replaced with nervous expressions. How will this ceremony proceed? I didn't see a pastor or anyone to officiate the wedding. Would they declare their vows publicly in front of the guests? The two approached a different table, positioned so that they'd be in the higher ranked section, and turned their backs to us. Please rise! Bowman's voice echoed through the halls. We all stood up and faced the bride and groom. Only the Margrave left the table and approached the front. He stood between the table and the happy couple. Now, for the wedding vows, the Margrave announced. The bride and groom each gave a firm nod. I could discern their gestures, even though their backs were turned. Marius put his hand over a stack of paper documents and spoke in a clear voice. I, Marius Amor, take you, Julie Derangère, to be my wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, until we are parted by death. This is my solemn vow. I, Julie Derangère, take you, Marius Amor, to be my husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, to love, to support, until we are parted by death. This is my solemn vow. The Margrave nodded at their words and then bellowed loudly. Should anyone have any objections, voice them now! And of course, no one had anything to say. Once silence fell upon us, the Margrave gave a nod of satisfaction. Then, by an overwhelming majority of the attendants, under the name of Margrave Menzel, I, Gregor, shall pronounce you man and wife. He took a writing utensil offered by Bowman and penned his signature on the paper. The bride and groom did the same. The Margrave confirmed the document, folded it up, and sealed it. The seal depicted the Menzel family crest. Julie Derangère? Said the Margrave. Yes.
Wrong way.
From henceforth, you shall be known as Julie Derangère Amor. Yes. Congratulations.
Why this keeps lagging out?
Her tearful voice quavered as thunderous applause erupted within the hall.
Chandelier.
Bowman swiftly produced an item wrapped in a cloth and gave it to the Margrave. And now! Margrave Menzel pushed aside the cloth, revealing two golden rings sitting next to each other. Taking the rings and facing one another, bride and groom each gently slipped a ring onto their spouse's finger. Their gazes intertwined. Oh, are they gonna do the kiss? I managed to stay silent and not vocalize my thoughts, which were most fitting for a vulgar old man. I'm not even drunk. The two did indeed kiss very lightly, and loud applause once again boomed within the venue. Marius and Julie were now officially a married couple. As I applauded with the rest, I felt my chest grow warm and fuzzy. Thank you for your blessings. Please, take your seats, Bowman said. We all followed his request, and the Margrave returned to his chair by my side. Drinking goblets were immediately placed on the tables, and wine-like liquor was poured. The goblet, perhaps for safety reasons, as glass or porcelain might shatter, was made from wood. However, these weren't crude cups that could be found in a commoner's house. They were neatly polished and fitting for a count's wedding.
Oh, shit.
A banquet followed, and I figured it was best to remain seated during this occasion. In my previous world, this would be the time to pour beer into a relative's glass, receive some alcohol in return, or go over to the bride and groom to fool around. This world didn't seem to follow that custom. Oh well, that kind of laid-back atmosphere is probably unbefitting a count's wedding. I'd like to thank everyone for gathering today, Marius said in a sonorous voice. Perhaps relieved that the hardest bit was over, he now seemed more relaxed. Yes, I do. An apprentice of yours? That's right. He nodded at my reply. She drinks very well. That I cannot deny. I forced a smile. Rike was gulping down her drinks just as swiftly as the Margrave. Since the first toast, she'd had 2 cups and a third was being poured. Diana and Anne didn't seem to stop her, so I left her under their care. And the Margrave seemed aware of dwarven habits. A person of his status probably needed to be aware of all sorts of information. Yeah, I'm not silly to be an aristocrat. The dishes that were brought out were akin to a fusion of French and Italian cuisine. They seemed to come straight out of a luxurious restaurant, but the presentation was a bit more simple. Sauces didn't decorate the dishes stylishly, and there weren't any unusual vegetables piled on top. The first dish was either a stewed or steamed root and potato garnished with some sauce. When I took a bite, the flavor of the vegetables and the citrus-based sauce filled my mouth. Delicious. I had heard that unusual foods and spices were favored during these lavish celebrations. Taste wasn't the primary issue. The fact that the host could afford these rare ingredients attested to his wealth and fame. However, it seemed Marius wasn't willing to do such a thing. The taste seemed familiar. Did I eat this at a wedding in my previous world? The last wedding I'd attended had been my subordinate's, but it had been years ago and my memory had gotten hazy. This is delicious. Indeed, it speaks to the chef's skills. After the presumably hors d'oeuvres, a small meat dish appeared in front of me. It was seasoned, but spice didn't cover the entirety of the meat surface. I took my knife and cut off a piece to carry into my mouth. My eyes widened in astonishment when the meat hit my tongue. The seasonings gave it a bit of a kick, and it was indeed delicious, but this dish hinted at who the chef was. Samya took a bite and seemed to have the same reaction as me. She whispered in my ear, "Hey, is this?" "Yeah," I replied with a nod. "This is probably Pop's cooking." "Thought so." With a contented smile, Samya took another bite. "Mmm," she said happily. The taste was to her liking. I was eating at a separate table from Marius, but when I glanced up, I happened to catch his eye. I pointed toward the dish, and he gave me his usual mischievous smirk. His expression faded so quickly that I thought I was seeing things for a moment. I gave a small sigh. "I'm sure of it. This is Sandro's cooking. I'm guessing Boris and Martin are with him too. I guess Pops got wrapped up in all this." I imagined him grumbling while looking ecstatic as he loudly gave instructions to Boris and Martin. It made me chuckle. The meal was an overall quiet affair. No one stood up and walked around to greet others. Since I was sitting at the end of the table, I didn't feel many gazes on me either. And if they tried to stare at us, they'd naturally see the Margrave too. It'd be rude to stare at him. Marius's goodwill had worked very well, and I smacked my lips as I enjoyed Pop's food. No one, including the Margrave, dared to speak carelessly. The topic of the 7th Imperial Princess being present among us was never touched upon. She was drinking at a relatively fast pace, but she still seemed level-headed and was able to respond calmly. However, as she continued to consume a few more glasses, she pretended to look my way but glanced behind me. I didn't follow her gaze, but I guessed that she was staring at Helen. Helen was polishing off her food at an alarming pace. It wasn't the best of manners, but it didn't make anyone narrow their eyes at her. The others were a bit more graceful and ladylike. Though their behavior might have seemed a bit forced, these were the results of Diana and Anne's lessons. I mean, the daughter of a count and the Imperial Princess personally taught them manners. The end of the banquet was quickly approaching. For dessert, we got some citrus that looked similar to a grapefruit. It didn't have much bitterness or sourness, and was very sweet. I was a bit surprised to see it. This world seemed filled with more native or ancestral fruits. There was the possibility that this variety had been selectively bred. While I enjoyed the dessert, the Margrave glanced around at my family. "Sorry," he muttered under his breath. I guessed he was referring to our situation. He spoke softly so that no one would notice a Margrave apologizing to a mere blacksmith. Helen and Anne had come to me partly because they'd gotten involved with the Margrave. The same goes for me, though. With the power of alcohol, the door that kept his apologies hidden away had slowly started to crack open. About what? I replied. I chose to play dumb. At the end of the day, I didn't feel inconvenienced at all. The Margrave gave a very, very small sigh and a dry smile. I think you should rely on others a tad bit more. He may have been right. Every member of our family, each with their own strong points, lived under the same roof. When told that I should put their talents to better use, I could only agree. But I wasn't willing to obediently acquiesce to the Margrave's words. I'll think about it, I replied stiffly. The Margrave offered another forced smile. Like at the previous party, after the banquet there was a ball. Bowman guided us all, including the bride and the groom, to a smaller hall. The aristocrats, now stuffed with food and drinks, would engage in conversation here. An orchestra that had been hired specifically for this purpose started to play. While this event was to essentially allow people to walk around and talk with others, it was under the guise of a ball. Some kind of music was a necessity. I didn't really have anyone to connect with, barring the newly wedded couple. I tried to become a wallflower, allowing the rest of the family to do as they pleased, but none of us moved an inch. What an ineffective wallflower I am, surrounded by an entire grove of blooms. I was just about to suggest that everyone dance instead of sticking together in one big clump, when suddenly, "Would you kindly dance with me?" a young woman asked. "But I'm a wallflower." The woman was wrapped in a pale yellow dress, and her silver hair had been cut in a neat bob. She was a bit shorter than me, and her overall attire didn't seem too extravagant. But in her silver filigree-like locks was a golden ornament fitted with a glittering ruby-red jewel. It was rather eye-catching. "With me?" I asked questioningly, pointing toward myself. I felt an odd, murderous intent in the air, some of it aimed toward me. But this woman didn't seem particularly suspicious. Samya and Helen stayed put, proving that the woman meant no harm. The only problem was that I hadn't the faintest clue about her identity. I frantically racked my brain for memories dating back to the day I'd come to this world, but she didn't ring a
I
bell.
can't remember what we're doing for these
Did she
rooms
just
now.
one-sidedly know me? "Yes," she replied with a smile and a quiet nod. I glanced toward Diana and Anne for some help. Diana quickly approached me and whispered softly, "It's rude to reject a woman's offer, so it's best if you accept it." "I'm not agreeing to start some kind of weird relationship, am I?" I whispered back. I felt a painful pinch on my back. I suppose a hit to the shoulders here would be unladylike. I hid my pain and smiled at the woman.
See overgrowth to
I'm not used to these situations, so it may seem a bit unsightly. But if you don't mind that, I'll gladly accept. Of course. You can rely on me. Another soft smile. I took her hand and walked toward an open area. The orchestra, which had been performing lively, fast-paced music, possibly to mask the conversations, now switched to a song with a slower tempo. However, as though to make up for the slow pace, they played the music even louder. Are they trying to match my rhythm, or is this just a coincidence? Finding no use in overthinking the situation, I took the woman's hands and started dancing to the music. Had I been to social dances in my previous world, I would have been much better. Unfortunately, I had no such experience. Needless to say, the watchdog hadn't given me a dancing cheat ability, so I knew I looked awful. My lack of ability was easily exposed after a few quick steps. I felt like I heard some kind of dry laugh or mocking voice above the music. This woman had surely heard it as well. I doubted that she wanted to be humiliated with me. "What would you like to talk with me about?" I asked. "Oh dear. What if I said that I wanted to simply dance with you?" she replied. "It looks like you don't believe me." I knitted my brows for a moment when she sounded a bit mischievous, but the woman quickly gave up. It was likely that I just looked a bit
bollocks.
scary, though that seemed effective against her. "Then I suppose I won't beat around the bush. My name is Annette." She gave an elegant bow with the rhythm, making it seem like it was part of the dance. I bowed as well. "To be rather blunt, I am a dependent of the kingdom's royal family. I almost completely froze, but she swiftly tugged on my hands and moved me along with her. Since I'm here, I'll divulge. I am interested in you, but I'm not your enemy. In terms of standing, it's quite the opposite. I can't just believe that without question, I said frankly, trying to remain as expressionless as possible. She gave me a forced laugh. That's true. No one felt good when they aroused suspicion. And what business do you have with me? I asked. If you're looking for custom models, the person making the request must venture alone to your forge in the middle of the Black Forest, correct? Correct. My steps are all over the place when I talk while dancing. I almost kept tripping and was barely keeping myself together. I'm not quite interested in that at the moment, Annette said. To spill a few more details, my main job is to be something like a spy. Alarm bells sounded. My warning level rose a notch. This is like DEFCON 4. But I'm not planning anything in particular today, she added. I'm just here to maintain relationships with others. I see. My reply was completely shut off from my emotions. Annette once again offered a strained smile. A troublesome matter is about to occur, and I was thinking that I might make a request of you, explained Annette. You may be one of the final aces up my sleeve or something very close to that. But it'd be too late if we got acquainted after that situation occurred, so I thought it best to get familiar beforehand. And it's a perfect opportunity for you to sneak in. Precisely, she said with a knowing smile.
I hate it.
So I hope we can maintain a relationship. You may explain this to your family however you wish, including the princess, of course. I wouldn't want to trouble the imperial family. I'm grateful for that. If I'd had to keep this a secret, it would have required a convincing cover story. It was easier to tell them the truth. But I don't know how much they'll believe. The song concluded. Annette and I bowed toward each other and then returned to our respective places. We were surrounded by warm applause, a stark contrast to our risky conversation. As I returned to my family, they all applauded as well. However, they stared with half warm and half cold gazes. That was rough, I said. It wasn't bad, but maybe you need a few lessons, Diana replied with a smile. Hear, hear, added Anne with a grin. It might be best if you remember both the kingdom's and the empire's dances. These two were the best teachers I could get for etiquette and the like. There must have been numerous young aristocratic ladies who'd be desperate to be taught by these two. But unfortunately, I was a 30-year-old man and a blacksmith. Even if I learned to dance, I don't think I'll do it often.
Shit.
I gave a strained laugh. Well, please kindly teach me if you're willing. The rest of our family smiled. Normally, they'd laugh loudly here, but they were mindful of the setting. And? Diana asked, her grin fading. What happened? They were already aware that I didn't have a romantic conversation with Annette. Or maybe, if they thought I had, they'd glare at me and try to find out the details. It was just a simple greeting, I replied. She said she was a spy working directly under the royal family. She wanted to get to know you before things turned ugly? Anne asked. I'd expect no less from a princess. You're sharp. That's exactly what her intentions were. She didn't seem to be in a rush. No one has time for leisurely greetings during dire events. Anne sounded a little bored, but it was unusual for a blacksmith like me to be involved in difficult situations. I wonder if she was fine with greeting me first, I said. She bypassed the newly wedded couple and the guest of honor. I'm guessing that the guest of honor is the one behind all this, Anne replied with a small huff. Well, that was par for the course for him. If he had an opportunity, even at his darling relative's wedding, he'd take it. I see. Diana leveled me with a serious look. If it really is a difficult matter, feel free to decline. That was tricky. If I refused the royal family's request, I'd earn the ire of the Amors, the Margrave, and even the royal family. Diana was worried that because of this, I'd nod my head at any matter that came my way. Her reasoning was sound, and frankly, I would have agreed with her. In a roundabout way, my friend's safety was at stake. However, I already had my priorities sorted out. I care the most about my daily life with our family, I asserted. At my words, Diana seemed happy, but also a bit sad. While celebrations like these are an exception, I paused, gathering my thoughts. If our family's livelihood is at stake, I'll do whatever it takes to resolve the issue. I chose my words carefully. I couldn't exactly say, I'd protect you from anything that makes you sad, Diana. But should anything occur to the Empire, Rike's hometown, the Black Forest, or the Elves' village, I'd lend my power without fail. I'd also do anything that would allow me to live a quiet and peaceful life in the future. I suppose I am wrapped up in too many things. My smile was strained, but I met her eyes nonetheless. Thank you for worrying about me, Diana. Her only reply was a deep flush, and I felt a very slight pain on my shoulder. In any case, no one is coming to talk to us, I remarked, sweeping my gaze across the ballroom. Every aristocrat had found their partner and struck up a conversation. My awkward stumbling earlier had seemed to trigger others to start dancing. They even looked a bit more relaxed. But ultimately, Annette was the only guest who'd approached us. I was just a middle-aged man, but the women around me were flowery and beautiful, so I'd expected some younger men to approach our group. It's probably because you spoke so casually with the Margrave during the banquet, Diana said with a small sigh. A mysterious man, clearly not a person from around here, conversed with Margrave Menzel like an old friend. It makes sense that the aristocrats were left wondering. Anne nodded. The enigmatic man is also surrounded by women, a daughter of the Amor household and the lightning striker in the mix. Additionally, he's accompanied by a dwarf, a beast folk, an elf, and a giant. Azo, I doubt any person could even hazard a guess about your identity. And they surely don't know how to strike up a conversation with you. Huh, I muttered. So, people see me as some mysterious aristocrat? What? You only noticed that now? I sort of had an inkling, but it only started to sink in when you verbalized it. I gave a small frown, and the rest of the family smiled. Chapter 15. The end of the banquet. Anyway, I think Diana and the rest of you should head over to the newlyweds, I said. The bride and groom finally seemed to have some free time on their hands. I decided to stay where I was and let the rest offer their greetings. As I thought about the future, I realized that the ladies of my household wouldn't have the opportunity to meet with Marius and Julie often. For Diana especially, this was a chance for her to catch up with her only brother and her friend. The women hesitated for a moment, but then immediately started walking toward the couple. As they went, I softly called out, "But go easy on them!" Samya gave a wave of her hand in reply. Were my habits rubbing off on her? I didn't think her actions were the most ladylike, but no one was there to scold her for it. After all, I was apparently a mysterious aristocrat. If anyone dared to reprimand one of us, only to find out that we were actually a very important group of nobles from a different country, it could turn into an international issue. Above all, it would be slandering Marius's name, since he'd invited us as his guests. I doubted anyone would be so bold. Good grief. I sighed. Gently rolling my shoulders, I realized that I'd been nervous ever since the start of the banquet. And the Margrave was right next to me. Wait, where is he now? I don't want him to catch me while I'm alone. Hastily, I glanced around. And who might you be looking for? Asked a low voice. His tone wasn't as imposing as the Margrave's. It honestly sounded a bit frivolous.
Isn't that supposed to be?
I'm not seeking out someone to talk to, I replied, not looking toward the source of that extremely familiar voice. Quite the opposite, actually. I hope it's not me you're avoiding.
Oh, and this is the...
Of course not. In
Banner
fact, I
set.
thought you might not even be here. I gave an awkward chuckle at this farce and turned to face him. Where have you been, Camillo? He was dressed in splendid attire, and his physique could frankly rival the Margrave's. I extended my hand, and he shook it while patting my shoulder. I was in the back, he replied. I had quite a few things to take care of. So that's why you went at
Makes
the
it more
banquet.
likes.
Yep. I basically had the same meal as you guys, but in a separate room. I just finished eating.
Pop's cooking can't be beat.
Agreed.
Camillo grinned. You done socializing with the aristocrats? I asked.
I don't need to urgently network with any of the people here, and I've already privately congratulated the newly wedded couple. He shrugged.
From a merchant's point of view, this banquet apparently wasn't the ideal place to make connections. I should always assume that these occasions call for a bit of networking. Back in my previous life, I recalled two people meeting at a mutual friend's wedding. From there, friendship had blossomed, and the relationship had escalated until they'd eventually married. I guess two middle-aged men like us should just become lonely wallflowers, I said.
Right.
Camillo and I entertained ourselves with some small talk, but as we did, I felt gazes from around the room land upon me. I'd casually talked with the Margrave and the Count, and now I was conversing with a merchant who has ties to both these aristocrats. I guessed the people were trying to put the pieces together and gauge my social standing. I feel like my position is becoming even more of a mystery in aristocratic society. But I guess I won't be bothered by that. Though today's banquet was held only for family and close friends, Marius was planning to have a small parade within the city in the near future. Camilla would be arranging that as well. Sounds like a bit of a pain, I remarked.
Which is why I turn a greater profit,
He replied. Makes sense. A parade would probably cost a decent amount of money, which would be great for the one paid to organize it. If Camillo continued to accept these jobs and prospered even further, it would make me happy. I can't deny that it's partially because he's my friend. By the way, there's going to be a changeover in the magistrate, isn't there? I asked. Is Leroy going to take over soon?
That's what I've heard. Baron Kielstead is the current magistrate, but he's dying to retire.
Camillo looked around the room, then discreetly gestured.
Oh. He's over there, talking to the Margrave.
I gazed in that direction and spied an old man. He looked intelligent and was holding his own while conversing with the Margrave. The old man had a white beard and white hair, which was slicked back. Though his attire gave off an aristocratic aura, his physical features made him look more like a wizard who'd thrown away a ring, like from a movie I'd seen back on Earth.
Marius is keeping him, you know,
Camillo said.
Even if the Baron retires, I'm sure he'll still sort of be like a father figure to the Count.
I see. I internally bowed my head to my friend's father figure. A short while later, Bowman's clear voice rang out.
I know the banquet is reaching its peak, but I believe we should be drawing this celebration to a close.
Is it already that late? I wondered. Soon, Marius stepped to the center of the hall.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you for attending today.
He said loudly, voice full of gratitude.
We are still young, and we have much to learn, but I'd appreciate it if you would continue to watch over us.
Applause echoed throughout the hall and continued for a while, as though to symbolize the size of our blessing. This world didn't have a custom where wedded couples would give guests thank you gifts at the reception. Besides, there weren't many items suitable to distribute to this particular guest list. Food or other perishable items would have only caused more problems. I thought back to my previous world. Do countries other than Japan have that tradition too? I was never all that excited to receive celebratory items from other families. At a later date, I asked Anne if aristocrats gave food or other gifts during times of celebration. I'm sure commoners might, but between aristocrats, they'd always have to suspect the food being laced with poison, so probably not. Even if they're close friends? Even then, she replied. For example, let's say you gave your friend bread, and he died soon after eating it. The bread wasn't laced with poison, but another item he touched may have been, or he'd simply suddenly died of natural causes. You'd still be suspected, wouldn't you? Right, that's true. That scenario made logical sense. If someone received a gift of food, ate it, then ate something else laced with poison, even something they ingested daily, and immediately dropped dead, the gift would obviously be scrutinized. Though there was a low possibility of this happening, if the victim happened to suddenly die of a stroke or a heart attack, the gift giver would become a suspect. I would have thought this even in my previous world, but it would be even more of a concern in this one. All this considered, thank you gifts weren't distributed, and the guests left the hall in the order they arrived. In the weddings I was familiar with, the married couple and their family would be thanking the guests by the door, but there was no such tradition here. The guests were called out whenever their carriage was prepared for departure. My family would be leaving last since we had to change our clothes. The Margrave lingered for a lot longer than I'd expected. Since he was an aristocrat, I thought he would leave early on. Rank didn't seem to matter in his case. I asked Anne about this later as well, and she replied, "If people leave in order of rank, it'd be obvious that the person who leaves first is of the highest standing. That would leave the perfect opening to launch some sort of surprise attack. So it's best for guests to leave in an order not associated with status." I've still got so much to learn. The Margrave firmly clasped my shoulder before he left. Helen tried to step forward, but I stopped her with my hand.
"I'll leave it to you,"
He said. I wasn't sure if he was referring to the newly wedded couple, the kingdom, or perhaps Helen. But it would have been crass of me to ask him in that moment. Instead, I silently nodded. I didn't care about the kingdom, but I didn't need to be told twice about the other two possibilities. Using my middle-aged man's intuition, I surmised that he wasn't referring to the kingdom anyway. The Margrave gave a satisfied nod before he gallantly walked out. He must have had quite a bit to drink, but his steps were firm and stable. Still, since he was able to say those words to me, I knew that the alcohol had gotten to him a bit. A few other guests left the venue, and we were left with just the bride and groom. Julie's family had moved to a separate room, and Camillo was already gone. "Thank you for coming today," Marius said, extending his hand to me. "The pleasure is all mine," I replied, clasping it. "Thanks for inviting me on this joyous occasion. Truly, I'm honored. I'm wishing you two eternal happiness." I was sure Marius would be faced with trials and tribulations in the future, but I hoped he and Julie would support each other to overcome any hardships. Their rings are blessed and will protect them from misfortune. I'm sure they won't be caught up in too much. Well, that's what Giselle said anyway. Marius lifted his other hand. "The payment for the rings has been prepared for you in a separate room. Please accept it." "All right. You won't be handing it to us personally, I take it?" "Nope." He grinned. I guessed that he had his own reasons. After all, he'd just married. Those two would surely want some time alone soon, and I didn't pry further. Bowman seamlessly slipped into the conversation, guiding us through the party. "This way, please." We all followed him. Right before I left...
There we go.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Hey.
Yeah. Mm. Alright, I need to get to the roof. Ah, shit. Alright. Nope. Mm. Ah, tits. Oh shit. Oh shit. Alright. There anything to go by? Alright. Fuck's sakes. Nah. Ah, shit. Fuck's sakes, man. Hmm. Oh shit. My. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit at me. Alright. Ah, shit. Shit. Oh shit. for fuck's sakes. This is shit. Ah, fuck. Fucking hate roofs. Like, fuck, that roof's done.
Yo!
The inside looks like shit. fucking hole and that stuff. Shit now. Oh shit. Ah, shit. Oh, proper zoned out then.
Hey!
Nice. Oh, I fucking knew there'd be something. Oh, are you shitting me? Whoa, shit. The fuck is going on here? Shit now. Oh, shit me. Really? Right, that fucking day. Was there? Oh, yeah, there's a basement. Shit me. Hmm. Oh shit. Oh, fuck's sakes. Hmm.
Hey!
Oh shit, where do we get hardwood from? Let's go on a farm. Oh shit. Some hardwood. Where do I get hardwood? Okay, not going around here. I don't know the fuck I get hardwood now.